Sangeeta Devi from GK Jain School, Rayapuram. In today's session, we are going to see the significance of HRM. In the last session, we have discussed about the features of HRM, meaning we have discussed. In today's class, we are going to see the significance of HRM. In the 9th chapter, Fundamentals of HRM, we have seen many things. We have come across what is the characteristics and significance of HR, the human resource we have seen. Now we are going to see on the topic what is the significance of HRM, why it is needed, why it is important. We are going to see in the HRM. First one, we have the 11 categories to be discussed. First one is manpower needs. Manpower needs. Every human resource management, what they will do is they will see to what is the requirement in each department. We have different departments in the organization. We have the if you want to tell, we can tell finance department is there, production departments there, marketing, sales. We have different department in the organization. So it can be of any level of organization, small, medium or large. Depending on the size also, the department can be increased also. We can tell it as that. So in that situation, we need to know what is the need. Manpower need is required. Manpower need is nothing. The human, how much they want to work for that particular department, how much human beings are required. We can tell it as a manpower. So the manpower need should be known by the HR. HR of the organization should know each department requirements, so that it need to know the manpower needs. So if we have the different departments, so each department's needs should be known by the HR department. So that is the significance of HRM, first point. Next one is change. Change is very required in every field. Like example we will give you is, change is being there in the olden days and all. They will use it to take a class in the only through the boards and in only the classroom. Nowadays it has been changed to the situations. We all need to take a class on the online and update the students on the online classes. So we are getting changed to our environment. Same way for the organization also, we are supposed to change. The change is very much required, because depending on the situation, what they are facing, if suppose the company is facing some losses, they need to change the manpower because they want to reduce the manpower. If it's going or fast growth is being there, so in that situation they require more number of employees. So the changes should be made. So that is the point, change. Next one is ensure requirements. Ensure requirements is that nothing, it is similar to the manpower needs. After knowing the needs of the manpower for each department, they are supposed to be produced with such a number of manpowers. Like production department requirement is 5 members in the case. That 5 members needs to be recruited and the requirement needs to be fulfilled. So HR department should ensure that all the requirements of each department is being fulfilled or not. So that is the ensure requirements. Next is right man, right job. Right man, right job is that very important while we going for the selection of the candidate. If example, HR department mostly what they will do is they will recruit the person for the company. So while recruiting the person, what they are supposed to do is they are supposed to select what is the job. If example, they want a candidate to be engaged in the accounts department. So in the accounts department, whether he has graduated in the accounts or other special certificate has been completed by him, like a Tally, ERP, like that, many courses have been there. So anything is being completed by that person needs to be known. So in that situation, if the right job, the right man should be placed. If he is graduated in accounts, so the same way he can be placed in the accounts department. If he is being studied the science department, if he is being placed in this, he doesn't know what is debit credit itself. So the basic knowledge about the accounts will not be known. We cannot tell him that you have not done the work properly, because he is not fit for the job. So the right man should be selected in the beginning itself. While recruiting the person itself, the right man should be placed in the right job. So that will be the most significant importance. Right man, right job. Next one is updation. Updation is very much required. If example I will tell, many are facing a difficulty in that. Now we take off a current situation itself. So many are feeling very difficult to take an online class because they don't have that much knowledge in how to handle or how to take the online class. The same way it should not be there. They should be given some training and development programs, or some training should be given by the who has some experience in it. So by the experienced person they can gain the knowledge. The same way for the HRM department also, they are supposed to give the training to the all the persons. Because why the training is important, I will tell you. If he is being not given any training, it will be like a unqualified for the job. In the case he has studied but he does not have the updation about the current situation, so he will be like a unqualified. If example he has been have a expertise knowledge, and if he is being given a lower position, that knowledge he has gained is very waste, we can tell. It is not used at all, so that it will, we can tell it as a overqualified. So it should not be like unqualified or overqualified. The training should be given properly to them according to their job. So the updation is very required. So that will be your point, updation. Appraisal. Appraisal is very important in the current situation, where the performance of the each employee should be known by the HR department. HR and the human resource management, what they will do is they will get the performance wise what the person has been recruited. From the selection of the process, after recruiting him, some training has been given, updated, and after that the work has been done by them. So performance wise, who and all being done a very good thing, good performance has been done by them, they should be boosted up, or they should be given some other benefits also. Who has not been done to the level, they should be motivated. That is a slow performers, we needs to be motivated. So that will come under the to appraise the performance of the employees. So next point, competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is that the employees, they are engaged in a job, they will be having their colleagues, they all will be competitive. How it will be advantage is that if the performance is being done good, they needs to be appraised. The same way, if each persons get a competitive as their colleagues and they have started doing their best works in giving their best efforts, it will automatically give the best growth of the organization. So we can tell it as a competitive advantage. While we are going with the exam, if a small example, students is being writing an exam, a small test is writing also, he will be considering his friends as their competitor, and they will try to give their best so that the best marks can be given by the students. The same way for the organization also, if they consider they are giving their competition through the other colleagues, they can achieve their best. By achieving their best, it automatically gives the fast growth to the organization. Next is incentive and bonus. Definitely, whoever is giving their best works, they needs to be motivated and he needs to give some incentives. It can be on incentive basis or bonus to the employee. It is nothing an extra financially or non-financially, some rewards is being given to the employees. Next is employee commitment. Employee commitment is very much required, because if we think our company, we are working, it is our work, and we consider it in such a way, we will think it in such way, we will do it all the works properly, and we will complete it everything on time, and it will automatically give the best results also. So the employee commitment, if it is higher, like example, how it can be tested. Employee commitment is that if the higher he is giving the output, or higher the, if we fix it at the 150 production units, it need to be completed per day, if we keep it up, and he is completing at 175. He is thinking in such a way, he is giving some more efforts or more think on it, and higher the performance is being done, automatically we can get that it is as it as a higher employee commitment to the organization. So if it is higher the employee commitment, it will automatically be, it will try to bring the company to the first place. First place in any situation also, it can move. If it is a company is being lost, it can move to a profit. If it is already company is earning profit, it can increase the amount of profit. So higher the employee commitment, it will lead the company to the next level. That was the employee commitment. Employee attitude. Employee attitude is nothing the employee should be given the workplace as the suitable for the employee. If definitely, if a workplace is unsuitable or unliked by the person, definitely we will not work there and we will not give our work best also. So while if it is workplace is being suitable for the candidate or the employee, definitely they will do their works faster and they will give the results also faster. Results in the case their production can be done faster or any work assigned to them, it will be done faster. So that it is an employee attitude. Employee attitude, the work environment should be, work environment includes what? The relationship with the other colleagues, other friends, all those things will include the work environment. Next one is collective is that the bargaining of the human resource management. That is, whenever we have some problem being faced, we go on bargaining to the human resource HR department. We are facing this much. So what they will do is they will try to form a union for that. Like example, grievance redressal committee, like that they will form. So whenever we are having some problem being faced, automatically we can go to that committee and explain our situation so that it can be solved easier. So it is called collective. So these are the significance of HRM. So first one we have discussed is manpower needs. The human resource department, definitely they should know what is the needs of the employees. Next one is change. Change in the situation is that our environment, whatever it is being situation, we need to change to that. Next, ensure requirements. Ensure requirements in the case what is the need being given by the each department needs to be fulfilled. Next is right man, right job. Whatever the position we are filling up, the right person should be filled up. Next is updation. Whenever any training or skill is required by the candidate, we need to give them updation. Appraisal. Appraisal is that performance of a good performance needs to be boosted up. For the low performers, we need to motivate them. Next is competitive advantage is that the colleagues they should consider as their competitive and they should give their best effort, so it will automatically faster the growth of the organization. When they give their best efforts, incentive and bonus should be given to them. Employee commitment is that the employee should think this company as their own company and should involve themselves. And employee attitude, the work environment given to each employee should be suitable for them. Any changes is being there, that can be given in the collective, that is the grievance redressal commission or any committee can be formed as a union so that they can give their opinion. So these are the significance of HRM. In the next session, we will see the functions of HRM. Thanks for watching.